Right, buddy, this is the latest Manchester United news. We'll be talking the latest on Hojlund and his potential exit to Napoli, and some other interesting stories that has broke throughout the day as well. So let me know your thoughts. I'm going to start off by talking about Rasmus Hojlund, though. It came in from the Marzio, who again are pretty reliable in Italy, obviously. Napoli are pushing to sign Rasmus Hojlund on loan with the option to buy. Negotiations are ongoing, and Napoli are confident they can sign him. Now, this is what Fabrizio has said on the Hojlund stuff. He said, in case of a departure, Rasmus Hojlund prefers a solution to avoid finding himself sidelined from the group like Sancho and Garnacho. And if others in the prevent a return of a loan, he wants a guarantee if it's a loan. And that's one thing I have to appreciate and kind of respect, really, about Hojlund. The fact that he's willing to move. Again, they remain focused on signing him. Again, AC Milan potentially as well. So there are clubs interested in signing him. And that's one thing that I have to respect. You have players like Garnacho and Sancho who are just not willing to go anywhere and providing the club a big problem. I think this kind of comes from the fact that he's actually a Manchester United fan and he wants Manchester United to do well, compared to someone like Garnacho and Sancho, more not really bothered about the club. They're more worried about themselves. I think with Hojlund, again, I do feel kind of bad because it's not really it's not Hojlund personally. It's just he can't give Manchester United what he needs to give us right now, and that is a big disappointing fact. Now, on Rasmus Hojlund, what I would say is, again, he's been left out of the squad. He didn't play any minutes in our pre-season game. Amorim said we lacked a reference of a striker. Is all the signs are pointing towards he wants Hojlund to be sold, and I think he will eventually be loaned, and then there will be an obligation to buy. Now, as I said, I wish Rasmus Hojlund all the best. I think he's been a top professional. Again, he had the first good season at United. Second season, again, wasn't the greatest. And I think it is time to move on. I think it makes a lot of sense. And yeah, listen, I'm excited to see what the future holds for him. Again, I think he will become a decent player. And again, listen, Hojlund will be leaving Manchester United with Napoli being close on agreeing a deal with him. So, again, that is interesting. But again, it's nothing concrete yet, so let's hope it does progress quickly. I mean, you want to get a Hojlund kind of exit concluded shortly, because then it allows you to, one, get in money, some sort of money, and it opens up a space. It also allows us to give us more leeway in the market. What I want to say, though, about Sancho and Garnacho, these guys are not scared to not leave United. They're happy to stay and do nothing. And again, it just shows where they're at. Sancho realistically isn't going to go to a World Cup, just with the amount of players that there are doing well for England. I mean, I'm not going to list them, but all the wingers and the attackers that they have, he's going to have no chance, even if he does leave now. Garnacho, again, I think he had a good chance of making the Argentinian squad if he does go to Chelsea, but again, he's not really too fussed about him leaving either. So, again, it's a very, very intriguing and interesting one. I think there are two players who, again, ultimately need to leave. But on Hojlund, again, I wish him all the best. Napoli are reportedly close to agreeing a deal with Hojlund. They are negotiating on a loan. Yeah, let's see what happens there. Now, what I want to talk about is, I've seen some quotes coming in from Michael Owen on Matheus Cunha, which I kind of wanted to talk about and kind of just have a chat about him, really. This is what Michael Owen has said. My only question mark is his attitude. He gets sent off a lot, he waves his arms a lot, and you already have someone like that alongside him in Bruno. From a talent point of view, he's absolutely there, and maybe being at Manchester United, being at a huge club, might put some manners on him. You can't go around grabbing people's glasses off after a game, getting sent off, arguing with referees, and causing fights on numerous occasions like he did at Wolves. But when you're the outstanding player and when you've been carrying the club, when you all that pressure on you and all those different things, then you can understand a bit. When you go to United, you have the public glare even more, and you need to behave that way. Now, one thing I want to immediately dress up and just give a fact here. He's only been sent off once in his whole Wolves career, so the fact that he gets sent off a lot, again, doesn't make any sense because he hasn't. Again, I think ex-players always going to have something to say. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. But yeah, I think Cunha, listen, he knows the pressure. He said in his interviews that it's a privilege. He knows the pressure of wearing a Manchester United shirt. And again, he's just excited to be here and continue to work. So, listen, Michael Owen, again, I don't like ex-pundits say what, or ex-players, sorry, say what they want to say. Again, I don't agree with it. But again, it's just the world we live in, and ex-players are gonna have their say. But yeah, just to banish that fact, I mean, he's only been sent off once. And again, yes, he might be a bit aggressive and a bit kind of in your face, but I think that's something that United have needed. I think over the years we've had too many players who've been soft and not really confrontational, and then you need that a bit. I think it brings that fight, that competitive edge, competitive spirit. So yeah, listen, on that, just wanted to kind of talk about that. But that's all really. There hasn't really been too much. Obviously, we talked about the Rabiot stuff earlier today. Nothing has come out on that. But yeah, ultimately that's it. Now that has been a quick update. Sorry it's late, but yeah, I thought I'd do a quick conversation about Hojlund, because listen, if he does leave, which he's looking like he will in the next 10 days or so, I wish him all the best. And again, if anything does happen surrounding Manchester United, we will obviously give it to you. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. It's a big week coming up for Manchester United. We play obviously Fulham on Sunday. Then we have that FA Cup, not FA Cup, Carabao Cup second round game against Grimsby, which we will obviously bring to you as well. And yeah, listen, it's a big season ahead. We've got a few days, or 10, 11 days left of the transfer window. So again, what do I predict is going to happen? I think Garnacho will go. I'm not too sure about Sancho. I'm just going to say he will go. And I think Hojlund will go. And in terms of who we're going to bring in, I'm not 100% sure. If I was to predict, I would go with Sané, Lemons and the goalkeeper. But again, none of that might happen. It's just a prediction. There's no inside sources. It's just, as a fan, just kind of predicting what's going to happen. But let's see what happens. Thanks for watching.